Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to learn how to configure port for a Spring Boot application. So Spring Boot application by default runs on 8080 port. So in this video tutorial, we will see how we can change the 8080 port to something else. For example, I want to run the application on 8082 port or 9090. So we will see all these today. So this is my Spring Boot application, which is running on port number 8080. So you can see the Tomcat is started at port 8080, and you can see I am able to access the port 8080, and you can see I am able to access the port number 8080 on the browser. The first method is the use of application.properties. So we are going to stop the application here. Now I am going to application.properties. I have opened the application.properties, and here I can specify the server.port 8082. Now if I run the application, it will run on the port 8082. Right click and run as Java application. Now you can see it is started at 8082 port. And it is running on port 8082. So this was the one method. Now you can also change this in application.yml file. In your project, either you can use application.properties or application.yml file. But if you are using application.yml, then you need to specify this code here. And server colon port is equal to 8082. Port colon 8082, and this will run on the. So in application.yml file, you have to add this code. Port number is 8082. After this, the application will run on the port number 8082. There are options to use the environment specific configuration. For example, this is for dev environment. I can set it this to run at 8082, and in prod environment in QA I can set it to run as 8084. So if I deploy this application on dev, it will run on 8082, and in QA it is going to run on different port, and so on. This way you can use the environment specific configuration file to run the application on different port in different environments. Next is programmatic configuration. I'll show you. This is the application initialization, spring application dot run, web application dot class, and run. I need to comment this and configure like this: application app equal to spring application object, and this is the object of web application class. This spring application is created using this class, and here we can set default properties and collections dot singleton map server port 89090. So this way you can provide the server port configuration programmatically. Now I am going to run it. Now we can see that I need to comment from here, then only I will be able to use this one. After commenting this, right click and run it. Now it should run on the port 9090. Now it is running on the port 9090. So you can see now it is running on 9090 port. There is another way also. Next method is using the, so we can use the one port customizer. You can make it, we can make a class port customizer, and here we can use this. In our application, we can use the configurable web service. So we can create a class like this and specify the port number here, which will enable the application to run on different port. So I have created the component like this here, component, and the class is server port customizer, and here there is a customize method, and here we can set the port number. Now if I run the application, it will run on the 9091 port. Now you can see it is running on 9091 port. Let me comment this and move on to the next method. Next, using the command line arguments. So one is java -jar, your jar name, and then the server port name. Another method is to java -jar -d server port 8083, and then the jar file name. Now I will show you all this. So I need to first ambient clean package. So this is going to clean the previous compiled files and create a new jar file. It is building the application. I'm going to the target directory, and here you can see we have the jar file, Spring Boot configure port -0.0.1 snapshot.jar. So I will use this command to run, and it is going to run the application on 80834 port. Now the application is starting, and you can see it is running on 80883 port. I'm shutting down the application, and there is another way of running this, java -jar -d server port 8083, and then this jar file name. Now you can see it is running on 8083 port. So this way you can run the application on different port. We have seen so many methods of configuring the Spring application to run on different port. So what is the priority of configuration? So this is the priority of configuring. First is embedded server configuration. Second is command line. Third is property file. And last is the main Spring application configuration. You should understand the priority of evaluation of configuration. In this tutorial, we have learned how to configure a Spring Boot application to run on different ports. I have showed you many ways to do this. Thanks for watching the video and subscribe our channel for more tutorials and videos.